Hello everyone, and welcome to my first ever Godzilla related What If on my channel. This is the start of What If Godzilla was in the Bayverse. So without further ado, let's kick off the story. So before we get to present day, we're gonna do the origins of Godzilla in this universe that would better fit him into the Bayverse. So Unicron and Primus are fighting it out at the start of the universe many centuries ago, to which the outcome of this fight is Unicron is of course defeated and he goes into a slumber, and Primus is very weakened, so he goes somewhere far away and transforms using his last bit of energy to make Cybertron. And of course the 13 Primes are created, and then their race grows on from there. And Unicron lays defeated in space, and over time rock and soil from space come and begin forming around him, thus creating Earth. And from the soils of planet Earth, aka Unicron, came Godzilla, which I'll go into his origins a little bit later. But his purpose, to protect his home planet from anything that he views as a threat, whether it be from this planet or beings of unearthly origin, whose only goal is to keep the Earth in a peaceful state. Which for a while, Earth origin threats are kept balanced because of Godzilla. That is until something new comes to Earth. Ancient Decepticons, whom begin to build like a pyramid, the Star Harvester, and the Fallen leads them. Godzilla will not stand for this. He makes his way towards this abomination, this threat to his planet. Meanwhile, the war for the Matrix is happening, and the Fallen is about to claim victory. And Godzilla comes in and destroys the Star Harvester very early, before it's even able to be used in the second movie. And you'll see how different Revenge of the Fallen will be. The Fallen is then like, "No, my machine, you accursed beast." But that is when the Primes step in and stab the Fallen. Godzilla begins using his beams to kill any Cybertronian he sees, and the Primes are shocked. And so, they very quickly take the Matrix, and then they run off and forge a tomb in order to protect the Matrix, so that no one could destroy it or use it for evil. Especially that god-type creature on this planet that they never knew about. And so they make the tomb far away where no one can find it. And we could say that at some point the Knights did fight alongside the humans. And hearing of this Godzilla, they were trying to make a device, which is the talisman from Transformers 5, which can possibly be used in order to get Godzilla to know that they are not a threat. They want to protect the world just as much as he does, and keep the peace. However, they were never able to totally complete it, since Godzilla showed up and just killed a lot of them off. So the only possible chance at communicating and fighting with Godzilla was lost forever. So meaning the Knights, the plot of the last night, well, some of it will not be anything major in the future. And before we jump in the present time, this is how Godzilla's origins happened. So this is Godzilla pre-monster form, just an apex predator. But the Quintessons arrived, hoping to turn Earth into their new home, killing off all the dinosaurs. But in one of those blasts from the seeds, Godzilla is affected by its radiation, turning into a giant organic, souped up creature, destroying all those ships. And since then, he's began to view any extraterrestrial beings as a threat, which is why he did all that to any and all Cybertronians going forward. So now, we cut to present time, where the Allspark is here, and it crash lands on Earth. To which Megatron crash lands on Earth before he could retrieve the cube. And Archibald Woodwicki and his crew are in the Arctic. They are searching for signs of Godzilla, but find Megatron, and Archibald Woodwicki still gets the Allspark's location imprinted on his glasses. And so we see two protoforms, Autobots, as they arrive on Earth and search for the Allspark, Bumblebee and Hot Rod. To which they're both landed near a car lot, and they scan Earth alt molds. And they think of a plan. Bumblebee will go and find the Allspark, while Hot Rod searches for Megatron because they know Megatron is here before them, and they don't want him to get the Allspark. Hot Rod assures Bumblebee that they will meet again, and reminds him once he gets a lead on the Allspark, summon the others, even if he is nowhere to be found. As to which he turns into an old-style Lamborghini and leaves. Bumblebee turns into his Camaro mode and drives off. Meanwhile, Godzilla can sense the Allspark's power here on Earth. So he starts rampaging through a city in search of it. And then Simmons takes notice to this. And he's like, why is this creature, Godzilla, active after all these years? What does he want? My guess is the big cube we have in storage. And possibly MBE-1. There might be more of them here on Earth. And Simmons is like, scour the satellites and search for any extraterrestrial threats. We must get to them before our ancient creature does. To which eventually Bumblebee does send up his beacon to summon the other Autobots. And Godzilla sees the beacon from far away and immediately starts headed to the location. And a certain Decepticon is watching the destruction of this city. What a fascinating creature indeed. Starscream transforms to his jet mode and follows Godzilla, watching him. And then he instructs another Decepticon, Barricade, to move in on the location of where the beacon came from and destroy that Autobot, whoever it is, and to bring him those glasses. As to which Barricade does move in. And just like in canon, he finds Sam Witwicky and interrogates him. And Bumblebee and Barricade do still have their canon fight. And soon enough, the military are deployed into Sam Witwicky's town for evacuations because they know how much destruction Godzilla causes in his wake, and they don't want to risk human casualties. We still get that scene where the Autobots arrive. So the Autobots head to Sam's house. So Sam's parents are watching the news of Godzilla headed this way, and they follow along with the evacuations, going up to Sam's room and telling him to get ready that they're leaving. Optimus orders the Autobots to go along with the evacuation, and as soon as Sam finds the glasses, Sector 7 arrives. And they do still manage to take Sam and Michaela away. To which, because of the military evacuations and hundreds of humans everywhere, the Autobots really have no choice for now but to stick to their vehicle modes and follow Sector 7 close behind. And eventually, Godzilla does reach Sam Witwicky's hometown and starts eviscerating the city, searching for these extraterrestrial threats. Starscream still flies above. A very destructive creature indeed. Megatron will be most fascinated by this indeed. And then he flies off to the dam. To which Godzilla takes notice to this. He looks at the jet mode of Starscream. And because he's dealt with Cybertronians in the past, he could tell. To which he turns to follow Starscream. So Sam and Michaela are successfully transported into the Hoover Dam. As to which we see the Autobots post up at a nearby structure to come up with a plan to go and get the Allspark. And yes, Bumblebee is there because he was not captured by Sector 7. And we could see Frenzy as he makes his move. And without Bumblebee being captured, I can imagine that the only reason they brought him here was to keep him safe because they believe he's a target with the glasses. And do they still show Sam Megatron? Yes. And does Sam still tell them about the Autobots? Well, yes, because of everything he's shown them from Megatron to learning Godzilla could be after him. And are Sector 7 at first not trusting of the Autobots? Well, of course. Megatron was a threat. Godzilla is from Earth and he's a threat, destroying cities and everything. So of course they're going to be on edge about the Autobots. And heck, Sam even tries to vouch for the Autobots, saying that all they want is the Allspark. Give them that. And they will leave and maybe Godzilla will stop all this. And after much deliberation, they decide to let the Autobots into the Hoover Dam. And after much convincing that all they want is the Allspark and then they will leave, they are let into the Allspark chambers to take it. But it's not Bumblebee who gets the Allspark, but Optimus Prime gets the Allspark. To which Frenzy confirms that the Autobots are here and they have the Allspark. He'll free Megatron, but he'll need a distraction. Starscream flies in. A distraction you wish? So it shall be. And then he transforms, landing on the Hoover Dam and begins opening fire on the dam. And the other Decepticons begin moving in on the Hoover Dam. Ironhide sees the camera feed. It's Starscream. We have to get out there. Ratchet says if Starscream is here, the Decepticons aren't far behind. And then Jazz says, what's the play, Prime? Ironhide, Ratchet, led by Jazz, are ordered to go outside and distract Starscream. Optimus and Bumblebee stay inside to guard the Allspark. Soon enough, Megatron comes online. All hail Megatron! Frenzy then informs him of everything going on. And Megatron is like, interesting. Meanwhile, Optimus, noticing that Megatron has returned, gives the Allspark over to Bumblebee. Keep this safe, old friend. Megatron then goes up to the Hoover Dam to greet his Decepticons, and they all arrive, bowing before him. The three Autobots are fighting Starscream somewhere. Megatron orders his Decepticons, destroy the Autobot. Optimus comes up to greet his old friend Megatron in an homage to the G1 cartoon where they fought on the dam. However, Godzilla arrives to the dam, and Optimus and Megatron look at the creature. Megatron tries to take this opportunity to shoot Optimus. However, a car drives in, transforms, and shoots Megatron. Stop the time! And Megatron freezes for a good few seconds. Hot Rod reporting for duty, Prime. Arriving late to the party as usual, Hot Rod. My apologies, Prime. Megatron then comes out of being frozen. Grr. But he flies up to Godzilla in an attempt to reason with him. All hail Megatron. But Godzilla ain't taking that. He tail whacks Megatron, launching him away. Bone Crusher tries to make a run for Optimus to try to ambush him, but Optimus sees this coming, takes out his sword, and stabs Bone Crusher in the head like... And then we see Blackout fly and aim his weapon. However, Hot Rod uses his stop-the-time weapon, pausing Blackout mid-moves. And then we see the military show up and open fire, killing Blackout. And then Godzilla rips a hole inside of the Hoover Dam and uses his fire breath, breathing down, destroying the Allspark. And it also damages Bumblebee very severely, but he'll live. And Hot Rod goes down to his side. And with the Allspark destroyed, Megatron is enraged. He would stay to fight, however that beast, he did not expect that. So he transforms and leaves. And Godzilla looks around at all the Cybertronians. Heck, even seeing Starscream retreat. And we see Hot Rod kill off Brawl. Ironhide dumps Barricade to the ground, but Barricade transforms and retreats. And Godzilla takes this as a victory. And thinking all the aliens are leaving his planet, he leaves back into the water. And Optimus looks at as the creature leaves. Prime, are we just gonna let that creature escape? Jazz, this creature may have tried to destroy us and destroyed the Allspark, and without it we cannot go home. However, this is the creature's home, and we must respect it. Megatron and his Decepticons are here, and no doubt they plan to damage this planet. This creature will not allow that to happen, and so will we, Autobots. For fate has yielded its reward, a new world to call home. We shall live among its people, hide in plain sight, and watch over this planet in secret. Though we are worlds apart from that creature, I know that there is more to him than meets the eye. And then he looks up to the stars. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting. Meanwhile, we see Starscream approach Megatron. Megatron, what do we do now? The Allspark is destroyed, thanks to that creature. Oh, Starscream, I think I have someone that can help us in this department. We then see Megatron as he approaches the Fallen, and we see some schematics for a Mechagodzilla on their computers. And the last thing we see is Godzilla looking up into the stars, waiting. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off here, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed part 1, and I'll see you guys in part 2.